What is up, Jags fans? Man, it is great to be back on the live show, man. It's been like a couple weeks since we've done a live show here, and it's safe to say a couple things have gone down in the 2 weeks that I haven't done a show. My last show was about the offensive woes. So this is your first video, and you're watching. Usually we do film breakdowns for games, but there's obviously been no need to break down any film the last couple games, so I haven't done that. And as you can see, I've been very busy. You can see behind me some things. It's a 3D printer behind me. Yeah, your boy. Yeah, boy's got a 3D printer in the office now. But it's been good. Make sure to follow on Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. Someone in the Sea Breacher in the comments said, "Dude, I've missed you. You should stream some of that new Warzone map." If you don't know, you can catch me on Twitch, Jags_United. Been having more fun on there than talking about the Jags. I'm not gonna lie. So. Someone mentioned about sending a link to hop on. If you go on Twitch when I'm streaming, I'll send you all that stuff. I got some time coming up off of work. So the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be off after Friday. So I'm going to be in it to win it for sure. We're going to be doing all kind of live shows and live stuff and Twitch and YouTube and all this fun stuff. But we have a lot to talk about tonight. Urban Meyer, Shad Khan, this horrible offensive team. Make sure to get into the comments here. This show is all about fans. We got some people in the comments already. Eddie Clutch says, Alexa, play Bump and Grind. Steve Boston says, send a link. I will for sure. Jacob said, when will the Jaguars fire Urban? I don't think they'll do it this year, but I could be wrong. Charlie Boy, long time no talk. I'm glad you are back. Charlie Boy, I'm glad I'm back. I'm glad that you're here. It has been... I was sick for like a week. The week of Thanksgiving, I was sick. Y'all don't care. Okay. Eddie Clutch says, I can't believe I'm going to see these guys play the Jets next week. Going to be an adventure. Breaking out the paper bag on my head. Yeah, it's going to be bad. Kevin says, so Lambo was the source all along. Yeah, look, we called it on this show. The last show we had, I kind of talked about how I think that Lambo was the inside source. As soon as he got cut, some things started coming out. All those writers said an inside source said he's unhappy. People are unhappy. Well, yeah, Lambo was unhappy. Like it's obvious who that inside source was now for sure. Eddie Clutch says Urban is better than Matthew Wright. Sea Breacher says Tyson Campbell is our only bright spot. Okay, well, what about Urban and what about? I mean, I know you don't like Urban, but about Trevor, ETN could be a bright spot. Damian Wilson has been playing out of his mind on defense, right? We're getting no love for Damian Wilson for sure. Eddie Clutch said, Breacher, if you had told me that a month ago, I wouldn't have believed you. Yeah, no, I know. So look, I mean, there's been a reason why, I haven't really been on here besides like work and being sick. But I knew that my takes would not be popular with Jags fans. I kind of, even on Twitter, I've taken a little step back just because everything that I say, Jags fans are going to rake me over the coals for. It's not a very popular opinion. I watched UCF Jaguars show yesterday, and he had a guy on that was defending keeping Urban Meyer. And look, I get it, man. I get the fact that Urban has all these things. Look, if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it probably is a duck. And Urban has all the walking and talking of someone that's like a disaster. I get that. But you can't just fire coaches all the time. I know we gave Doug Marrone too long, and we probably gave Gus Bradley too long, but you can't get into this cycle of just firing coaches. No one's going to want to come here. Look, if you're an outside coach looking in, and you see, you see a guy like Urban Meyer can't make it work here, you're not going to want to come here. I know people are going to unsubscribe, and look, I get it. Like I know, like Harry Drury, I know, but just hear me out. Hear me out before you get all mad. Look, I just want to just hear me out here, okay? I'm not saying Urban doesn't deserve to be fired. That's not what I'm saying at all, okay? What I'm saying is I don't think we're thinking about it the right way, okay? So this is all I want to do. Again, not saying Urban should stay. Not saying that he deserves to keep his job. I just want to, for a moment, challenge you to think about it this way, okay? That's all I'm asking. And if by the end you still think well, that's fine. And dude, this is what makes this channel so good is that it's fans talking. And look, you can see Preacher says Florida bias. Look, listen, hear me out, dude. I'm not saying he should stay. Just hear me out for a second, okay? All right. So here's the first thing I want you to think about, okay? Shad Khan is not a guy that's in our realm of thinking, okay? This dude has a $200 million yacht. He's a billionaire. Like, he doesn't think about things the way that we do. We're fans. We're emotional. We see things happen. And Shad Khan does not think about things like that. He thinks his business ventures as like 10 and 20 years down the road. See, we go season by season, game by game, play by play. We're invested. That's not how Shad Khan is handling this team. I mean, look at this team has been horrible the last 10 years. Horrible. We had one good season in the last 10 years. Horrible. And then look at the value of the team. The team is like tripled in value under Shad Khan, and we've been horrible. So like this guy, I'm not saying that Urban doesn't deserve to be fired, but what I'm saying is like for everyone that's saying that Shad Khan needs to fire Urban, like Khan is not thinking the way we're thinking. This dude has a $200 million yacht. Like, can you even imagine $200 million? That's just his yacht. It's not even his net worth. Look, I'm telling you, this guy doesn't think like we think. Shad Khan does not get emotional every single play like we do. When we see that reverse flea flicker play that almost works and gets dropped, we get pissed and we want to fire everybody. Shad Khan's not looking at it like that. I mean, he's really not. And like, so just before you say like Shad Khan needs to do this and Shad Khan should do this, like just make sure that you're thinking the way Shad Khan thinks. Because after his press conference on his yacht that he had, he made it pretty clear that he said he's going to evaluate everything. But to me, it seemed like he made it pretty clear that he's going to keep Urban for another year. So are you just going to get mad and be a disgruntled fan if Urban's here for another year? You're not going to watch a game. You're not going to go to a game. Of course you're not going to do that. We're all hardcore Jags fans. So I would challenge you just to suck it up for a year, quit complaining, and see what Urban can do with the paycheck open and buy some free agents. I'm not defending Urban at all. Look, don't get me wrong. I'm not defending Urban. And people are going to give me crap for this in the comments. It's going to be, I mean, whatever. But dude, like, I just challenge you to think the way Shad Khan's thinking. That's it. That's it. Like, we're not billionaires. I don't think we think the same way he does. Long John Silver 85, who's a member of the channel. What up, Long John Silver? He said he called the problems months ago. You did. I remember you talking about that. You were like, dude, there's problems coming. There's problems coming. Look, with the whole Urban kicking Josh Lambo thing, here's the problem I have with it. Bro, why is Josh Lambo waiting till now? Like why? Like, why is he waiting until now? Like, dude, I'm not a big fan of that whole thing. Like, it seems like Josh Lambo's trying to, like, kind of get one last stab in at Urban for cutting him. Because, like, dude, why bring that up now? If it happened in preseason, is that when he talked about it was? Dude, come on, bro. Seems like that little rat in middle school that, like, brings up something like, dude, come on, dude. I mean, honestly, I'll get into that in a second. Let me get to some of these comments. Eddie Clutch says, I want Balky gone more, though, to be honest. He's the mastermind behind the team structure. Urban is just getting all the attention, and I kind of understand the frustrations, but the way he's conducted himself. Okay, I'm going to get to that, too. I'm going to get to that, but you have a fair point. He goes on to say, it's not how an NFL coach conducts himself, and he needs to learn that and will in time, even if he is still one. Okay, that's fair. And look, and you want to challenge the way he has handled himself as an NFL coach? I'm not going to say a word about that because I think you're dead on there. Bruce Wayne says, the other issue with firing Urban is who here actually believes Khan will hire the right guy next time? We've never had a competent coach under Khan. Look, dude, thinking back at this franchise's history, who has been, like, if we're ranking the competent coaches, one is Tom Coughlin in the 90s. The second one's who's the second one? Jack Del Rio? Is he second on the hierarchy of Jaguars coaches? Where do you go after that? Doug Marrone? There's not a lot of good hires. You're right. Harry Drury says, sheep. Okay, I'm listening. Steve Breacher says no free agents are going to come here. See, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Dude, money talks. Okay, so hear me out here. In 2017, the 2016 offseason going into 2017, we had to open up the checkbook to get Calais Campbell. We've all seen the videos of Calais Campbell like freaking out at the offer the Jags gave. It ended up being one of the best decisions the Jags have made is opening up the salary cap for Calais Campbell. Now, that's why you got to do with a guy like Devontae Adams. Like, I know he's pie in the sky, doesn't want to go to a losing team. Okay. But if you offer him so much money that he has a Calais Campbell moment where he's like, I cannot turn this money down. Or do that with a Chris Godwin, Michael Gallup. I think money talks more than the last year's team's performance, is all I'm saying. And you might be right, but I would say money talks for sure. Harry Drury says he needs players. Look, there is an old saying that says in coaching, and look, here's another thing. I forgot to say this at the beginning, and I wanted to say this at the beginning. If it sounds like I'm like defending the coaches, it's because I'm a football coach. I coached football my entire life, okay? I've been in the coaching circles. I've coached with some really good coaches. I've coached some players that are in the NFL. I've been in the coaching industry, the coaching world for a long time. So, yes, I am going to defend coaches. It doesn't mean that I'm blind to what's happening or I'm ignorant, but I am going to side with the coaches just more than that. That's just who I am. I'm sorry. He does need players. There's an old saying that says in coaching, it's Jimmys and Joes, not X's and O's. Because every coach knows the same thing. These coaches clinics, do you guys know how big coaches clinics are? Because they have these like massive coaches clinics where they get these high profile. I've been to them. These high profile coaches come and they talk about their offense. They talk about their defense. There's no secrets in the coaching world. Every coach knows what every other coach is doing. They may change the lingo. They may change the terminology. It's all the same stuff. And you want to talk about like spreading the field versus like condensing it. It's the same plays, just where they're at pre-snap formation changes. But like it's all the same stuff. That's why I've always said it's Jimmys and Joes, not X's and O's. It's all about the players that you have. It's all about the players that you have. I'll say that 100. It's the same reason why Greg Olsen is doing great in Vegas. It's the same reason why Gus Bradley's doing great in Vegas. It's the same reason why Nathaniel Hackett's doing great in Green Bay. It's the same reason. It's because it's about the players. And look, there are times when you have to make a coaching change. When you have to spice it up, you got to change it. It gets stagnant. I get that. But I think people might just be a little too critical on Urban. And I know people are gonna turn it off, unsubscribe, whatever. It is what it is. I'm way backed up on comments. I apologize. I'll try to get caught up here. Let's see here. If we keep Urban, no way anyone will sign here. It says Super Game Boy. Okay. Israel Otero says, who's going to come play here with this soap opera going on? Okay. I would just maybe say the soap opera is because we're losing. Like, if I think we're winning, the story about Urban kicking Lambeau is funny. Like, if you reverse our record and we're 10-2, that story's kind of funny. Kicking a kicker and saying, dipshit, make your kicks. I'm going to get to that in a second once I get caught up here. Brett E. says, Josh Lambeau said he came out now because of the reports that came out last week, and he wants to help his former teammates. Dude, if you believe that, bro, come on. Long John Silver 85 says, Lambeau waited because he still wants a job. People won't hire you if you know they tell everything. Yeah, seriously. Sea Breacher says, I'm hiring Jim Caldwell. Israel Otero says, Khan needs to own it and say he messed up hiring Meyer. Okay. And look, that's fair. And I can't defend Urban very much longer. Like the evidence is stacking against him. I'll admit. Harry Drury says, keep him at least one more year with better players. Okay. Long John Silver says, the problem Urban is causing will make free agents not want to come to Jacksonville. Okay. So that tends to be a theme here. Eddie Clutch says, to be honest, I don't mind Urban staying. He has a tough task on his hand. A lot of fans thought this rebuild would happen overnight, and it's going to take 2 to 3 years. But he has made this team look bad from his actions. Okay, I think that's maybe a good transition to my next point about Urban. And again, just not defending Urban at all, because I don't think I would do these things, but I just want to challenge maybe the way you're thinking for a second. Okay? Put yourself in Urban's shoes. You were one of the hottest commodities coming into the NFL. Every team wanted you. The Jets wanted you. The Jaguars wanted you. Anytime there was an open vacancy for any team in the NFL for the last 3 years, Urban's name would come up. And it was like pie in the sky. Can we get Urban? Like Urban was the hot chick everyone wanted. Okay? So he comes in here and he assembles a staff of people that have NFL experience. Darrell Bevell, Joe Cullen, gets guys. And Darrell Bevell was a horrible hire. And that's on Urban. And now you have these assistants, coaches, that are not – you've turned over the responsibilities to these assistant coaches. The reps between the running backs, the punishment for fumbling, the offensive play calling, the route concepts. All of that you deferred your assistants because you're trying to be a good CEO right? And Bill Belichick does the same thing. Like, I know, he comes up with a game plan, but he does. I mean, Belichick is a big, he likes to let his guys coach. And they suck. And what are you going to do? Are you going to keep defending them, or are you going to call them out? He calls them out in private. He calls them out in front of the team, saying that they're losers, which they are. Hey, here's a reality check. Darrell Bevell is a loser. So Urban Meyer calling him a loser doesn't surprise me. I would struggle not calling Darrell Bevell a loser to his face as well. The fact that it got leaked, not good. Okay. If Josh Lambo is missing extra points, missing short field goals, missing little things here and there, are you not going to go up and give him a little kick and say, hey, dipshit, make your kicks? Is that really outside the realm of possibility for any of you to do? Like, really, think about it. That sounds like something I would do, to be honest. Maybe it was funny. Maybe it's just his way of coaching. But, like, I'm sorry if it hurt Josh Lambo's feelings. I'm sorry. Oh, the kick wasn't as hard as he can kick, but it definitely wasn't soft. Dude, get out of here with that bullcrap, bro. Go back to Pet Paradise. That's what I'd say. Learn to make an extra point. There's a reason why Josh Lambo is unemployed and Urban Meyer is employed. That's all I'm going to say. Last thing I'm going to say, and this was controversial, I know. If you're Urban Meyer and you're, 60-something years old, and you're up in Ohio and some hotties dancing on you, and you think it's private, and you think that nothing's going to happen, are you going to act any different than Urban? Not saying I would. I just want to challenge. I'm just going to challenge you to really look within yourself. Are you going to act different than what Urban did in that bar, thinking it was going to stay at that bar? That's all I'm going to say. I just want to just challenge the way that you're thinking, okay? Not saying it's right, not saying I would do it, but just challenging, like, would you have acted different? Being 60 and a hottie comes up on you wanting to bump and grind. That's all I'm going to say about that. I told you I defend coaches. It's one of my downsides. I'm trying to be better about it. There's a reason why I haven't come out and said all this, because I know the Jags fans don't want to hear that. They got pitchforks and torches, and they want changes, and they're tired of losing, and I get that. And I'm with you to a certain extent. I just want to challenge your thinking on some things. All right, let me try to get caught up on some of these comments here. This is a live show. Look, we do live shows. This is your first show watching. Get caught up. I try to read all the comments. This is a conversation for Jags fans. I'm not saying my opinion is correct. It is. A lot of times it's wrong. But that's what we do. We talk. Look, if you get offended by someone's opinion that I read or I say, then this probably isn't the place for you. Kyle Durbin says, "Yo, what up, United? What up, Kyle? Good to see you." If I missed your comment, I always say this. If I missed your comment and I got backed up and it was a good one, just type it again, dude. No one here cares. We're all friends. We're all good here. Type it again. No one's gonna. It's all good. All right. Harry Drury says played 7 years. I missed the context of that. I'm sorry. Brett E says just saying what he said. Never said anything about believing in him. LOL. Tuggernut. What up, Tuggernut? Tuggernut followed me on Twitter today. He said, Urban has been attacked since he first agreed to come here. So I don't know who is telling the truth about him and who isn't. That's a good point, Tuggernut. Harry Drury says, don't you think the NFL is going soft? I think Josh Lambo is soft as Charmin. Bro, get that dog park out of here. I associate Josh Lambo with the dog park, and if you know me and you know this channel, I hate the dog park. I hate it. Look at our record since we built the dog park. I challenge you to look at our record as the Jaguars since we built that dog park. Eddie Clutch. People don't understand how much the assistant coaches make up the structure of the team's gameplay. Like I said, the problem now is getting decent assistant coaches to hire to help our team succeed. I like that. Tuggernut says, I call Bevell a loser every Sunday, so I can't blame Urban for that one. Yes, that's my point. That is my point. Now, did he have to say, I'm a winner, you're a loser? No, he didn't have to go that far, if that's even what was said. But Bevell is a loser. He's a loser, and Seattle fans will tell you that. Detroit fans will tell you that, and Jacksonville fans will tell you that. Israel Otero, Khan needs to hold a meeting with the players and ask them if he should stay. That's dicey. That's dicey. That is one way to do it. Okay, but that's setting a pretty bad precedence, because then what happens when they bring in the next coach and the players don't like him, and then the next coach and the players don't like him, and then where do you draw the line? Khan's the billionaire. That's all I'm gonna say. Bruce Wayne, the biggest issue about Urban to me is what exactly is he doing to help Trevor? He cheaped out in free agency and hired a horrible offensive coordinator. His decisions are directly impacting our franchise quarterback. Now, Bruce, this might be the comment of the day right here. I like that. I had a buddy text me who watches the channel, and he was like, "Bro, I need like your honest opinion because I hadn't been on here." He's like, "Dude, what do you think about Urban?" And from the bottom of my heart, I said, "Here's my problem with him. My only priority this year was Trevor Lawrence's development, and I don't think Urban did enough to help that. So I think you're spot on, Bruce. I think you're spot on. Like, why did you cheap out in free agency this year? Why did you not? I mean, you drafted ETN, but like, why did you draft a guy like Walker Little and not play him? Like, Trevor is my future. Urban's not my future. So lost in all of this, me defending Urban like the whatever. Lost in all of this is I'm Team Trevor. So if firing Urban and wiping the coaching staff clean will help Trevor, I'm all for it. So I should have started with that. Maybe less people would have left the channel, but that's what I'm all for. And look, I can't answer that question. I can't answer that question if Urban being here next year will be better or not for Trevor. I kind of think that it would be better if you got rid of Bevel, got a guy like Dan Mullen in here. I mean, I know I'm not Florida biased. I know. But, I mean, do people really disagree with me there? Like, get a guy who can call plays. Get some free agents in here. You're right. I think Bruce is spot on with that. Darian. Oh, no, I lost your comment, Darian. Oh, let's see if I can find it. Okay, Darian said, yeah, that might have worked if I was still in high school. I don't know what he means, but yeah. C. Breacher says, nah, bro, if not if I have a wife. Okay, talking about Urban behavior in the bar. Okay. And look, I think if I'm married, I think I agree with you there. But would everyone agree with me? Brand says, breathing that copium hardcore. Copium? What do you know copium is? Is that the 3D printer? Steve Boston, love you, man, but really, my guy, really, Steve, I know, dude. Look, and I don't want people to look. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be. And look, I respect everyone's opinion. I'm not defending Urban. I'm not defending Urban. I just want everyone to really put themselves in the shoes of Khan, who's a billionaire, and billionaires aren't normal people, dude. Like, if you ever met a millionaire, they're not normal people. Billionaires aren't normal people either. They're just not normal people. And Urban, I mean, he kicked Josh Lambo, called him a dipshit. Okay? He called Darrell Bevel a loser. Okay? He grinded on a young chick in a bar. Like, maybe I'm a little too tolerant. Maybe I am. Otero says, didn't Khan say Urban needed to regain his trust? He's been lying about everything and throwing people under the bus instead of owning it. And that is a good point, because Urban did come in with this whole like ownership thing, and it kind of seems like he's like, I don't know. I need to ask my assistants. You're right. And look, I think he's totally botched that. And look, Urban didn't have a great reputation when he got here. So you got a point. John Doe says, fire Urban. Okay, look, I am not going to sit here and try to talk you out of thinking that way. I'm not. That's not my job. I'm just here to just bring the conversation together. I'm going to take a sip of my protein shake while y'all argue it out in the comments. Maverick Harden says, hey, Jags United. What up, Maverick? Eddie Clutch says, Sea Breacher, what he does in his marriage is what he does. May not agree with what he and his wife agree upon, but that's on them. If he cheated, it's his problem. But if his wife's cool with it, that's on them. That's true. We don't know. We don't know their ins and outs of their marriage. I mean, I don't know. I'm not even gonna go there. But you're right. Captain Full Post says dog park winning percentage. Yeah, look it up. Someone look it up. Because what year did they build the dog park? 2018. 2018. Think about the wins since 2018. Sea Breacher says, all my homies hate Pet Paradise. Yeah, Pet Paradise sucks. There's 5 dogs in a dog park that blocks the entire view of the sky patio. 5 dogs, and they bark the entire game. I love dogs. I love animals. Have a cat. I love all animals. Don't need it at a football game. Steve Boston. The offensive staff will be gone, but with all this crap, no coach will want to come here, and all the players that will be free agents next year will not want to come here and be a part of this soap opera. A lot of people have said that. So, I mean, that might be true. I can't imagine a guy like Dan Mullen turning down a job with Urban just because of what Urban's done. He knows Urban. As far as free agents coming here, I still think money talks. And I still think that you open up the checkbook to one of these guys, like they don't care. I mean, they don't care. The NFL is a business. They cut you like this. They fire coaches like this. They don't care. They're trying to make as much money as possible. And if all and just look no further than Calais Campbell signing in 2017. Look, Calais Campbell, the Jags were horrible. The Jags had to way overpay for Calais Campbell from the Denver Broncos, his hometown. But they did, and he came. It was one of the greatest things that the Jags have done. It probably was single-handedly helped them make their run in 2017. If you think about his leadership and his ability to affect plays. John Doe says, Urban Meyer killing our offseason coming up. Get him out of here. Okay. Base Mover. What up, Base? He says, do you still believe Jaguars United, Urban Meyer? Who do you believe? Jaguars United, Urban Meyer, or Josh Lambo? Well, you know what they say. There's three sides to every story. There's his side, then there's the truth. So I tend to believe the truth somewhere in the middle. Somewhere in the middle. And that's just me being safe and maybe not, committing, which I've been known to do. Steve Boston says, it just proves his college style, which this is, by the way, does not work. You can't treat guys like college kids. You're dealing with guys that make as much or more than you. Okay, so you're right. It can't be the same. You can't treat them like college kids. But college kids nowadays are starting to get paid, so maybe it'll change. Base Mover says, Marvin Jones' press conference was sus. There's a lot of sus things going on with this team. And maybe that's why everyone wants everyone fired, just because it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. Captain Full Post says, Shad Khan might be killing next generation's fan base. Maybe. I don't think so, though. I mean, there's kids that are diehards, man. Like, we're just now getting to our second generation of fans. Have you guys ever thought about that? Like, all these teams outside of the Texans, Panthers, and all these new expansion teams, they have generations and generations of fans. We are just now getting to our second generation of fans. I'm a first-generation fan. I was born in 1989. I grew up. I was a young kid. I was 5 years old. I was 4 years old when they announced the Jags. I had no choice but to be a Jags fan. I'm born and raised here in Jacksonville. I'm first gen. People my age, their kids are now second generation. I don't have any kids, but a lot of people my age do. So that's now the second generation of Jags fans. We're only on our second generation. So it takes time to build. It takes time to build a fan base. I'm way backed up, guys, here on the comments. I apologize, but I love it. I love the comments. Keep them rolling, dude. I know this is a hot topic. Let's keep it going. Steve Boston says, the biggest thing, in my opinion, was Shaw didn't want to pay him. The sure as hell falls under the dismissal rule to be fired without pay. Okay. So you're saying it's more about like, okay, I didn't think about that. More finances for Shad Khan. Oh, I like that. Israel Otero says, I want your honest opinion. Would you keep Urban for another year? People are going to be mad, and I would keep him for another year. I would. I keep him for one more year. And if he starts off bad, and we continue to see the antics that are happening, then yeah, you get rid of him. But I just don't think you can't fire a coach after 1 year. You can't. I mean, it doesn't work out. No, that's how you don't get a coach to come here. Like, we're talking about what assistant coaches are going to come here, what free agents are going to come here with Urban, what head coaches are going to want to come here if we fire Urban after a year. There's something to think about. Again, just something to think about. I would keep him, yes. And I know I'm in the minority. I know I am. But I trust Urban as a CEO. I think that he will have the ability. I think he intentionally didn't spend money this year. I think he did that on purpose. I don't think he expected the team to be this bad. He talks about injuries all the time. He didn't expect this many injuries. But, I mean, I think that he is planning on next season to be the year that he kind of opens up the checkbook. So, I mean, I would let him. And I know you don't think that, Israel. But we'll see. And look, we'll see. Dude, that's the beauty of sports, bro. We can agree to disagree. Donald says no top-level free agent coming here next year unless you overpay them by a lot. But that's what free agency is. Free agency is overpaying. Like, how often does a free agent go to a team on a bargain? Not very often, unless you're an old veteran that's trying to win. You have to overpay in free agency. It's the name of the game. Jayville Taylor says it's ridiculous to fire Urban in his first NFL season with this piss-poor roster he was given. What is everyone expecting? Yeah, he made some mistakes with the roster, but what coach doesn't? Be patient. Okay. Eddie Clutch, I always said since AEW started, Jags have sucked. I feel like Tony Khan did a lot with helping the Jags for his father. Okay, I didn't think about that correlation. John Doe says Urban Meyer is a bust. John Doe does not like Urban Meyer. That's fair, John. That's fair, dude. Look, I'm glad that there's some people in here that have some strong opinions. It just shows that we care as a fan base. It really does. For all those people that says, oh, what's the running joke? There's Jags fans. Yeah, there are, and they're angry. They're very angry. Don't kick a legend like Josh Lambo, okay? Eddie Clutch says, now with Tony doing his own thing, Shad has to do a lot, and he doesn't know anything. Yeah. Shay J, what up, Shay? He said, hey, Jason, I'm coming in late. What do you think the positive things that Urban brings to the table at this point? Okay. That's very hard, Shay. I don't like that. You're putting me on the spot with that tough question. If there are any positives, it's this. He does have a history of winning. And even Josh Lambo and all his little cowardness of waiting till now and being sponsored by the dog park, even in his cowardness, he said that Urban does have a winning pedigree. He's won before. There's something to be said for that. I do like the way that he vets coaches and players. It seems that he vets coaches and players more than other coaches do. Think about the guys that he's brought in, like Malcolm Brown, the guy he promoted. He didn't bring him in, but he promoted Damian Wilson to a starter, got rid of Schobert. He decided to, he wants to keep Chark, Marvin Jones. I mean, the guys that he brought in, I mean, yeah, he didn't do enough, but like even Shaq Griffin's been playing well. Tyson Campbell, I think ETN will be good. Trevor Lawrence, I mean, obviously it's a no-brainer, but I don't think he's made terrible decisions bringing people in this year. I don't think he did enough in free agency, but it's hard. I think he does a good job vetting players. But right now it's hard to see positives. But the problem is, here's probably the biggest positive. I think he's the best you're going to get. If you go out and have to again hire another coach next year, you're not going to get a top guy to come in here. You're going to have to get some like either retread coach or some low-level assistant, some receivers coach or some like linebackers coach. And I just think he's the best you're going to get right now. That's what I think. I mean, I don't know, man. That's a good question. Brett E says, when do you think James Robinson will request a trade? It's weird. Urban hasn't liked James Robinson since the beginning. Like, it's been like we talked about it on our show, and I said it kind of jokingly, tongue-in-cheek at the beginning of the year that Urban doesn't like James Robinson. I don't think Urban likes James Robinson. I don't. And maybe that's his biggest problem. And maybe that's why the fan base hates him, because he won't play James Robinson more. Maybe. Steve Boston, I would agree about the money thing, but you're talking about the guys that aren't premier names. I mean, I doubt Adams, Godwin, Gallup, Kirk, or examples would rather go to a good team without BS. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think Adams and Godwin might be the only premier names on that they mentioned. I don't think Gallup and Kirk would be premier. I mean, I think you could get Gallup in here if you ever paid for him. I mean, I think Gallup is a real. I mean, I did a video talking about the offensive woes, and I think Gallup is really a realistic target for us. Definitely overpay for him. He's been playing well this year. I mean, he's played himself into a good contract next year. Cash Shoots says, we might be the only team that has to build through free agency to win. Also, I'm still team AR-15. All right. Yeah, I like that. John Doe, you lose the locker room, you lose the head coach. All right. Eddie Clutch, and don't forget, we aren't used to having this much media attention, so it's making us look worse than it could potentially be. Happens with the real-world stuff, and the media will make things juicier for ratings. That's true. Media, it's never good when the media is up your butt. Gary K, what up, Gary? Has Urban explained why he doesn't wear a headset during the game? He wears a headset. He probably just takes it off because he's mad, but he wears one. Cash Shoots, I would keep Urban for another year, being that it's his rookie year in the NFL, too. Also, Peyton Manning went 1-15 his first year. So did Jimmy Johnson. So there's two names that could help you. Steve Boston with the $2 donation super chat. Thank you, Steve Boston. He says, Byron Leftwich for head coach. I mean, I think Byron Leftwich he's not going to be a head coach as soon as people would like, because I think people are going to give Tom Brady a lot of credit for that offense, whether that's fair or not. Jags fans hated Byron Leftwich when he was here, by the way. Like, they hated him. He was not very popular when he was quarterback here. They wanted him out of here as fast as they could get him out of here. So, but yeah, look, I got no problem with Byron Leftwich. I don't know anything about him. I don't know, how much he contributes between Bruce Arians and Tom Brady. I don't know. Kev B says, Urban didn't vet Bevel's results enough, obviously. Yeah, Bevel was a bad hire. That was a bad hire for sure. C. Breacher says, I've thought about it more, and if I'm Urban, I'm clapping them cheeks. That's all I'm saying, bro. Think about it. I'm not promoting his behavior. I'm not saying he should stay. I'm just saying put yourself in his shoes. If you were 60-some-odd years old, maybe the Romans kicking in, feeling a little spicy, had a couple drinks. You're telling me you guys are all going to be the most virtuous people of all time. I didn't realize this was that type of channel, but I'm glad that it is. Tuggernut says, Jimmy Johnson was a mess his first year. Guy made quite a few headlines. Imagine if they fired him after 1 year. I say give Urban 1 more year. Okay. Zach is whack. Finally some positivity for the Herbs. Hey, look, this channel, we're going to be as positive as we can do it. But look, I will say this over and over again. And to the people that are going to label me the Urban Defender, and that's fine. I'm a coach defender. Know that right off the bat. I'm a coach defender, whether it's Urban or whoever. That being said, if bringing in another coach will help Trevor Lawrence, I'm team that. I'm Trevor Lawrence. He is my future as a Jaguar fan. He's my future. So whatever that looks like, that has to happen. And that's probably the root of all of our arguments here. Kyle Durbin says, I bet Urban doesn't like James because of his speed. His speed isn't to his standards. Yeah, fumbling the ball is not good either. You can't fumble the ball in the NFL. That's like, you can't fumble the ball in high school. In high school, he's your best player. Okay. Okay. You're right. Can't fumble the ball, though. Both those fumbles that James Robinson did, due to our lack of offense, took us out of the game. We're down 10-0 and 14-0 in another situation. We're out just like that because of his fumbles. Zeno Wolf, keep Urban for another year to let him get acclimated into the NFL and turn this organization around in more than just a year. If he doesn't produce the next year, put him under the gun. Yeah, Zeno, I think I'm with you there. John Doe says, media just hates us. Urban Meyer amplifies that. That is true. The media does hate Jacksonville because it's an easy target. We're low-hanging fruit. It's easy to make fun of the Jags. It is. And to get easy clicks and easy laughs and easy likes on Twitter, these national media guys will come after us. But then you know what? That's fine. Because when we win, we can just give them all the finger. Eddie Clutch says, see, Breacher, you're a good man, LOL. Israel Taro says, after Khan gets all his facts, do you think he'll fire him? Maybe. Again, Khan doesn't. It's hard for me to get inside the mind of a billionaire like Khan. He's not thinking like I think. He doesn't. He kind of alluded to he isn't even at all the games in his press conference. I can't imagine. I'm at all the games. I'm a fan. we're not. I can't get into his mindset. I can't. Base Mover says, "Yep, he ain't coming here." Eddie Clutch says, "I have an old Leftwich Kids jersey." LOL. I remember in high school when Leftwich was here. It might have been middle school. I don't know. I had a kid. I never liked Leftwich, to be honest, but when he was a player, and he had a Leftwich jersey, and he taped the word "sand" over the word "left," so it said "sandwich," and I always remembered that. I thought that was super funny. Zach is whack is now a member of the channel. He's on the Matt Jones level. Okay, thank you for being a member. Hey man, I appreciate it. Look, I always talk about doing member-only events. We will, okay? We will. Especially, I got 2 weeks off after Friday. We're going to be freaking live shows every night. We're going to be on Twitch. So you better freaking be ready, boys. And my schedule kind of cools down mid-January. I'm more of an off-season. I'm an off-season warrior, bro. I'm the off-season champion of Jaguars YouTube. Let's see here. Nolly Fullcap, who's already a member, says, pains me to say this as a UCF alum, but Charlie Strong would make a good interim. I like Charlie Strong. Again, Florida bias. But yeah, he's UCF alum. That's funny. Kev B, y'all should definitely credit Brady and Arians for the Bucs team. I've seen Leftwich around Jacksonville for 20 years, and he acts like a 5-year-old. He dresses like a 5-year-old, but I mean that means nothing. Eddie Clutch, if he isn't catching a case, it's not a legit problem besides his wife. Hey, Eddie, I agree with you. Shay J, Also, remember, it says Bruce Arians had said that he would only come back if Byron was his offensive coordinator. And Arians says he's a great football mind. If Arians endorses him, he can't be that bad. That's true, man. Shay J always coming in with facts, always. And just always like, oh, okay, Shay. I didn't know that. Okay, I like it. That's why we keep Shay around here. Base Mover says, chant with me, guys. One more year. I don't know if he's being facetious or not. Jayville Taylor says, who do you want in our first pick of the draft? Pass rusher or offensive lineman? Who? Jayville Taylor. That's a good question. I kind of had this conversation with someone earlier today. Weird flex at the gym. I was talking to a dude about it. And he said offensive line. I said you got to take best available player. I mean, I'm a huge proponent of best available player. And I know I just got on a soapbox about helping Trevor. But I think you can help Trevor through the free agency. I really do. I think you can't pass on one of these DNs, whether it's the kid from Michigan or Thibodeau. I think you have to take one of those guys. Look, if you have a beast defense, that helps Trevor. And if you can get sacks and turnovers and get the ball back, like that helps Trevor. I know it's indirectly, but you got to take best available player. Always, always, always. That's just how I feel. Zach is whack. Says hello and waves. Brett E says Josh Lambo is doing a sit-down interview. Oh, my God. At 11 p.m. with First Coast News. Just ahead. Jesus. Hey, put that in the category things I won't watch for 1,000, Alex. I don't want to see freaking Josh Lambo's sour grapes. Y-Doc says, what WTF happened to us, man? Y-Doc, bro. Things spiraled out of control quickly. Steve Boston, the one thing that I've noticed with Khan is he's patient, but the moment the embarrassment rises to a high, like it did with Coughlin, he pulls the trigger. Can't tell me that's what Lambo's story is. Can't tell me that the Lambo story isn't a joke. I think it's a joke. I'm not sure what you're saying. I think it's a joke. I think Josh Lambo's a joke. I mean, he was sponsored by Pet Paradise in the dog park. He's an absolute joke. Israel Terra says, if we lose our next 2 games to the Texans and Jets, does he survive this season? I think the roster's so bad that you can't blame Urban. The roster's so bad. I mean, given the injuries we've had as well, it's just bad. It's a bad team all around. I mean, you can't point to a single player on this team that would start for a premier team. Think about it. I mean, with James Robinson, maybe. Miles Jack, he's been playing like crap. Josh Allen's been playing like crap. Shaq Griffin, maybe. I mean, Josh, I don't know. I mean, there's no talent here. There's no talent. That's the bottom line. Blame whoever you want. Balky, Urban, Shad, Coughlin, Caldwell. Blame whoever you want. There's no talent here. Eddie Clutch says, being someone with some fame from Instagram and music, I'm the one to have girls come up to me at parties because of that and bust a move. With the music adrenaline pumping, I usually will go in on the opportunity, so I get Urban. Eddie Clutch does have a little pop on Instagram. If you guys don't know, my boy's verified on Instagram. You got to check him out, man. You got to check him out for sure. And yeah, I get you there, Eddie. Israel Otero, Shad Khan happened to us. John does this is not college. Steve Boston says, I meant embarrassing, okay? Eddie Clutch says, the girl saw Urban and probably was clout chasing, and Urban fell for it. We all do. Like I said before, as long as it's not illegal, then it is not really a problem. I'm just putting myself in his shoes. And that's all I was trying to say. And I mean, I don't know 100% if I'd do that. If I was married, I don't think I would. But I would sure as hell would kick Josh Lambo and say, hey, dipshit, make your field goals. I would 100% do that. Do not get me wrong about that. That is totally something I would do. You tell me Urban didn't cold clock kick him. And like, that's not what Urban did. Have you seen Urban? He's old and fat. He's not going to be cold clock kicking anybody. It's probably just like in jest. He kicked the kicker. That's hilarious. If we were 10-2, that'd be the funniest thing that happened to Jacksonville. It'd be the funniest thing. But no, we're 2-10, and it's embarrassing. Jayville Taylor, do you want a contract extension for DJ Chark? I think that he gets a 1-year extension. This is what I think. I think he gets the same deal that Marvin Jones got last year. The 2-year deal with the 1-year team option at the end. Maybe not as much money, but that's what it's unfortunate. I mean, he got hurt. No team's gonna want him. We're gonna give him the most money if any team's gonna give him. He's familiar here. His family's here. He knows the coaches. Unless he just doesn't like Urban, which may be true. Then I think he stays. Goat the Viking. What up, Goat? He says Urban should be fired. He has too many distractions. Okay, there's something to be said for distractions in the locker room. I will say that. And yeah, I don't know if anyone watches like the TikToker Coach 30. He does like the fake film breakdowns. It's bad. He did one on the Jaguars. Not good. Not good. Predator says, "Hey, finally got it, dude." Predator, you're always struggling here in the chat, dude. Predator. I see Predator all the time on Twitch and other things like that for sure. But I don't know. Seabass Sports says, Roy Robertson Harris has been the second best free agent signing for us, in my opinion. Malcolm Brown's been good. Is he one? And then Roy Robertson Harris is two. Dan Arnold, I know we traded for him, but he's good. I mean, I'm looking forward to him next year. I was pretty tough on Shaq Griffin early, but I think he's played better. Rayshon's been horrible. Look, I think moving Damian Wilson to starter was a great call. I mean, I know he's a free agent, but that was definitely an Urban move. I like that. So I mean, there's things here and there that have been good for sure. Eddie Clutch, do we pick up on Jones's option? I believe it's $5.2 million. I don't know, man. That's a good question. I don't know. Go with the Viking. I'd kick Urban and say, "Hey, dipshit, help my franchise quarterback." Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Predator is now on the Miles Jack level member. Oh, what's up? Thank you, Predator, for being a member of the channel. Like I said, the membership is about to pop off here. I'm telling you that right now. He says, "Do you think Cisco will translate the ball hawking play to the pro level? We will have to wait until next year, but hey." Here's the thing about Cisco, and I can't take credit for this. I talked about this on the local radio today or yesterday, but like if your team is struggling to get turnovers, so the Jaguars are dead last in turnovers, why would you not put Cisco out there? Like Cisco is a turnover machine. I mean, in college, all he did was get interceptions. Like, yeah, they were tip balls and kind of lucky, but still something to be said for being in the right place at the right time. I'm surprised he hasn't seen the field just because of his ability to get turnovers like already. So, Predator, thank you for joining the channel membership. Appreciate that. Eddie Clutch says, at Seabass Sports, "We overpaid for Roy Robertson Harris, especially the guaranteed money, if we ever have to cut him, as well as Jenkins." All right. Steve Boston with another $2 super chat. Hey, thank you, Steve. I appreciate it. He says, "That's why Lambeau lost his confidence. He outkicked him." I mean, they did talk about like psychologically, like some kickers can't kick well when like the coach is watching. Maybe that was part of it. TN says, "I don't buy any of this with Lambeau. It's a little sus." Look, I don't like Lambeau. I think I've made that pretty clear. I don't need to keep harping on the whole Pet Paradise thing and him. I mean, would I turn down a sponsorship from Pet Paradise? Yes, I would. I absolutely would. If they called me right now and said, "Hey, Jaguars United, Pet Paradise wants to sponsor your YouTube channel," I would say, "Yes, but you have to let me say whatever I want about you." And then I'd let them come on one time, and I would rip them to shreds, and they would pull their sponsorship just like that. That's how I would handle it, just so you know. Freaking dog park in an NFL stadium. I know people are going to feel a certain way about this video, and that's fine. But again, I'm not even defending Urban. I'm a coach defender. I'm not defending Urban. The things he's done, the overarching thing, I was raised to believe by my mother, a very smart woman, who taught me at a very young age, if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's a duck. Stay away from bad people. Stay away from problems. Urban's starting to walk and talk like a duck. It does concern me, and as someone who is a staunch defender, I've now reached a point where it's getting hard to defend him. I'm trying to extrapolate the positives from keeping him, and I think they slightly outweigh firing him at this point, but only slightly, and that's where I'm honestly at. And you can say whatever you want, and I know people have their own opinions, but I think that's where we're at. I think we're slightly more advantageous of keeping him right now than firing him. Just because the NFL, you don't want to just be firing your coach every year. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And put yourself in the shoes of Shad Khan, a billionaire who doesn't really care what the fans think. I mean, say what you want, and I know it hurts. This is what ultimately hurts the fans' feelings. Is Shad Khan doesn't care what we think. I know. But don't blame just Shad Khan because no owner cares what their fans think. No, none do. They don't. Owners don't make a single decision based off the fans. I promise you that. The Twitter outrage, the even protesting, owners didn't change what they did. I'm telling you, it's owners are going to do what's best for their franchise and making money. And I think Urban's the best move for making money right now. Shane Watson says, I missed you, my guy. Keep up the great work. Thanks, man. I know I was gone for like 2 weeks. My bad, dude. My bad. You know me. I always got an excuse. I'm like Urban Meyer. Eddie Clutch, I understand people wanting Cisco, but you have to give credit to Wingard. He stepped up this year from years past and has made some solid plays on defense, being the struggles we have had in the secondary. I think you're going to get some hate about the Wingard thing because here's my problem with Wingard. He's inconsistent, and inconsistency is the mark of a bad player in the NFL. Every player in the NFL is good, athletic, talented. They're all. That's why they're there. It's the ones that are consistent that you want to keep around, and he's just too inconsistent for me. That's the problem I have with him. DJM says, I'm here. Sorry I was late, Jason son. You were late, bro. We've been on for 52 minutes. That's all right. You can go back and watch it. I'm probably only going to be on for like another 8 minutes or so. Goat the Viking. Do you think if we don't get any of the DNs, we end up and go Evan Neal? I think Evan Neal would be definitely a high likelihood of being here. We need help at both tackle spots. And I think if we don't go, is it Aiden Hutchinson from Michigan or Kayvon Thibodeau from Oregon? Then yeah. Hey, maybe we rip off 2 wins here in the next 2 weeks and we're not even talking about DNs. Maybe. Eddie Clutch says, I totally agree with your points. You are keeping an open mind and you are looking at all the aspects of the situation from a football organization standpoint, not a fan standpoint, because the two are very different. That was well said, Eddie. That was well said. That's kind of what I should have said. You said it way better than me. That's what I was trying to do. Brett E says, if I'm Shad Khan, I got 7 lawyers working on it right now to get him fired with cause and getting my money back. Okay. Knowing Shad Khan, he probably if you've never read Shad Khan's Wikipedia, the dude defended himself in court and countersued his old company and took his old company in court, and he's not even a lawyer. That's the level we're dealing with Shad Khan here. $200 million boat. The dude's worth billions. He's one of the richest NFL owners in the NFL. We're not dealing with Joe Twitter who gets emotional after every play. We're dealing with a guy who looks at the large picture. That's what he's dealing with. So just wanted to challenge your way of thinking. And again, ultimately, do what's best for Trevor. Don't do what's best for me. Don't do what's best for Khan. Don't do what's best for Urban. Don't do what's best for the Twitter mob that's going to come after me like usual. Do what's best for Trevor. That's what this franchise is all about. Going forward, if we're going to be successful, Trevor's going to be successful. So whatever that looks like, that's what I want to see. DJM, I'll end with this one. He says, are we winning Sunday? Yes. You know why? Because I got cabana tickets, baby. If you're at the game, you look for me I won't be in the pools, but I will be by the pools for sure. So look up at the top. It's at the opposite end of the Pet Paradise Dog Park. Opposite end. I'll be there, and I will be at the cabanas. I might even be wearing maybe a little Hawaiian shirt because this is my second time in the cabanas this year. I'm having a great year at the games. 2 cabana tickets? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you guys so much for being here. This has been a great live show. I had actually a lot of fun. Appreciate all you guys' opinions. Look, this is what keeps the Jags community going, dude. We don't all agree, and that's a great thing, dude. If we all agreed, we'd be a bunch of robots, right? We're not that. Love the opinions here. Very polarizing topic Urban Meyer is. Shout out to the super chats from Steve Boston. Thank you so much. Predator joined the channel as a member on the Miles Jack level. Zach is whack joined on the Matt Jones level. So I appreciate you guys. What a great time I had. I mean, I have so much fun with you guys all the time. Make sure to be looking at the notifications because, like I said, I'm off for the next 2 weeks. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of shows. Hit me up on Twitch. Jags_United. I do some stuff, usually Battlefield. I'll probably get into some Call of Duty here because of the new map and all that crap. But we talk Jags and do all that stuff, and we can play and all that stuff. But it'll be a good time. Thank you guys so much that are here and being here in the chat. You guys are awesome. I'm gonna leave the chat open for a little bit. If you guys want to talk and debate, keep talking about Urban. That's all you can. You guys are awesome. Love you guys as always. Go Jags.